Guys, this is end of an era, right? Is that what you would say here? End of an era. End of Arcade1up is on the brink, guys. I wanted to go live tonight instead of making a pre-produced video, because I wanted to maybe incorporate some of your guys' thoughts and opinions and reactions to really all of this kind of news. And is this really a good thing or a bad thing, going into the future and forward for not only Arcade1up but really home arcade fans, basic fun at the community? Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, so I wanted to get your kind of feedbacks in on this, guys. I know it's late, I know you got work in the morning. If you're catching this on a replay, I would love to get your feedbacks in the comments of this video, because when news kind of broke, I was kind of taken back, and I just wanted to, I don't know, gather my thoughts and check everybody's streams out and listen to the information that's being given. And usually, guys, where there's smoke, there's fire, and that's usually the case in this situation as well. Now, the biggest thing here is getting confirmation tomorrow being Friday, if that's truly, D-Day, the end date for Arcade1up, and what happens then. Does Basic Fun actually acquire the rights to Arcade1up and their future titles and possible employees? I don't know. A lot of us don't know. I don't even think the Arcade1up employees maybe know that, to be quite honest with you. So it's gonna be interesting to see, like, going forward, what exactly happens from here. Where do we go from here? Because at the end of the day, guys, like Arcade1up or hate them, there is it's bad when there's less companies, right? I mean, we had to deal with just Arcade1up, you know, and At Games, and that iArcade fell off, and some of these companies came and went, and it was just, there was nothing. There was just Arcade1up not producing anything. So now we're stuck here in limbo. And where do we go from here? How does this come about? For everybody. Because there's a lot of changes, to be quite honest with you. This isn't just a simple deal and then it's over, right? A deal then it's done with and we're moving the drill. This is something that's kind of unprecedented, and it's really, who would have thought? I mentioned before, when the new players came in and Iconic Arcade and Basic Fun, I was like, man, can you think about having an arcade, a home arcade, without Arcade1up products? And eventually that was going to happen, and then we were actually lucky here at the Cornercade to, get our hands on a Killer Instinct Pro, to get a Pac-Man XL, to get the Midway Golden Tee, and all that happened, guys, because of the community. If we didn't have a channel, I don't think any of that would have came to fruition, and we would have been missing some titles, obviously, going forward. But we would have gained some in the long run with Basic Fun. But now what happens? Basic Fun, do they actually acquire the rights to Arcade1up? Basic Fun, do they move forward with all of the baggage that Arcade1up brings? Or is Arcade1up just simply shutting down? We may not know tomorrow, a few hours from now. We may find those answers out, which would be pretty cool. I wanted to come to you live and kind of let my voice be heard, let your guys' voice be heard. Guys, I know it's late. I know you may just be trickling in here. YouTube's kind of funky with, I know you're used to me being live on Tuesdays, guys. YouTube's kind of funny with how the algorithm sets up, if you're getting notifications or not. So we do want to give a shout out to the Skulls playlist, who's in the building. Thank you so much, man, for stopping by. This is a new face in a familiar place, so really do appreciate you stopping by. But yeah, I just wanted to maybe kind of speak upon my experiences with Arcade1up, and maybe we could talk about then, like, Basic Fun moving in to acquire Arcade1up, if that's possibly what's going to happen, and the good and the bad and the ugly to maybe that as well. So just getting started here, guys. I mean, my experience with Arcade1up, I mean, wow, things have changed, right? Things have definitely changed. Like, I used to be a console gamer. I kind of like got away from gaming once I, met my wife and we had some kids, and I didn't have enough as much time for gaming in my life. So during the pandemic, I actually acquired an Xbox, and it was an Xbox Series S, I believe. It was a white one. It's been a long time now. Can you believe it? It's been a long time since the pandemic. Isn't that wild? Like, I feel like it was just yesterday. Um, but it was during the pandemic, and I was fortunate enough to still like work. And thank you for everybody trickling in. Let your thoughts be heard, and your stories on the news about Arcade1up. A sombering moment, really. But yeah, I was playing a lot of Call of Duty, and we had our daughter, and I think that's where like things changed for me a lot. My first kid, and I want to say she was like 1.5, 2, right? And she always wanted, she's like me, right? High octane energy, let's go, baby. And I was playing Call of Duty, and she wanted to, touch the controller, play. I put her on my lap, right, like any dad would, and I'm like, you know what, uh, I got kids now. That's where that's where the bell really rang off for me, right? It's everybody's different, right? And I'm like, it's about the future, right? It's like I don't know if I could really maybe find more appropriate games, get a Switch or something, play Mario Party. But I kind of just put the controller down and I said, hey, let's go play, blocks or Barbies, whatever we were doing at the time, right? And so oddly enough, I'm on YouTube, just scrolling through stuff, watching random stuff. And I don't know what it was first, chicken or the egg kind of thing, right? It was either a combination of Michael B, the Game Genies video, and Third Floor Arcade with Jason. And I saw this illuminated game room arcade, and I'm just like, oh my God, that looks phenomenal. And I thought to myself, I'm like, you're not zoned in on an Xbox that only 2 or 1 person can play. You now have a game room that anybody could just float in and out, play the games, have fun. And it's more diverse. You're not wearing a headset, you're not closed off to the world. And I thought to myself, well, that'd be kind of cool. So I'm like, well, how do you get these things? What are these things? Because I knew they weren't real arcades. I mean, you can clearly see the size difference, right? And so I went to the store. I went to Walmart. Was my first trip to getting an Arcade1up. I did research, right, like we always did, and watch review videos. And so I picked up Mortal Kombat 2, and it was like the riser, And so got it home, I assembled it. Well, it was the one with the non-lit marquee. I didn't realize that they made them without light-up marquees. So I was kind of bummed, but I still kept building it. And I finished it off. And my wife and I and our little one had so much fun. Just playing the different games, the Midway classics on that cabinet, right? And so I'm like, this is it. My wife initially thought I was an idiot. She's like, "What are you doing?" I had to take out the car seats to bring in this arcade box that tried to fit in the Honda Civic, right? And she initially thought I was just a total moron, right? I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys that's happened to. So we get it assembled, we're playing it, we're having fun, we're moving and grooving, and I'm like, well, should we get one more? Should we get one more? And I ended up returning that one and got the one with the light up marquee. So I did the even exchange at some point. And so I had Mortal Kombat 2, and I asked my wife, well, what does she want, right? And she's like, well, I guess, I showed her, the cabinets that were available. And she picked the Pac-Man. That was one that she remembers as a kid growing up with and playing. And she was, more console games like Super Mario Brothers, stuff like that. She remembers Mortal Kombat, oddly enough. So she probably played that on either the Sega Genesis or something. And so we got the Pac-Man, and then we got Marvel, the Marvel superheroes cab. No, not the Marvel superheroes. It's the Marvel vs. Capcom cab. And that was the big three in the corner of our CornerCade, guys. I should have brought a picture to show off, but there was 3 cabinets there. There was a plant, just like Third Floor Arcade with Jason. Gotta have the plant. And so that's when the hobby started. And then I started to get like that arcade itch again. And we went to retro arcades. We had fun. We got to experience the games here. I loved that the arcades were next to like our bay window. So when it was raining, we had like the arcade effect. So cool, man. Like at night. such a cool experience, right? We're gonna get a couple of neon lights. And then my wife started to see like how much the kids liked it, right? And then we had our son, obviously, and so it just turned into like a family affair, which I thought it would, right? Like that's what I was like, that's why I was excited to kind of do this and jumpstart all this. And we kind of went from there, right? And then we obviously moved it into one of our bedrooms, and we kind of just expanded and grew, and we had a blast doing it. We still do, guys. This isn't the end of the cornercade. This isn't the funeral here. But that's where it kind of started. And I want to know like where it started for you guys too. I want to hear your stories, kind of comment on that. And what do you think? We got a poll question in the chat right now. It says, "Are you sad to see Arcade1up close its operations?" And listen, Arcade1up had its ups and its downs. And like I've said this 1,000 times. We've been doing this now since 2022, guys. And I point to the cornercade sign in the background there. Can you believe it? It's already been almost 4 years. And so they've had their ups and their downs. And I feel like a lot of the negatives outweigh the positives, but I still want to hear the positives from you guys. We all know what they effed up on, right? We all know what they did wrong, right? A lot of it, from my 2 cents, right? Kind of being in this hobby, owning over like 70 or 80 of these products, I think a lot of it was just mishandling the money. And the fame came too quick for a very, very, very small company that had no idea truly what they were doing and truly how it was going to explode and become something so cool. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. We'll have a little Arcade1up history and chatter tonight. Have some fun. Duke Dog, thank you so much, man, for being here. Guys, I know it's late. You're probably going to check this on the replay, and that's okay. I wanted to come in hot here. I don't know how many people tune in on a Saturday or a Friday, to be quite honest with you. So I just wanted to jump on here and show you my thoughts, since, Friday is going to be the day that this is all going down tomorrow. So maybe we'll get some reactions on Saturday or something. We'll see what's up. And hopefully my internet is better, guys. We were having some complications. Apparently there was an outage on my last stream on Tuesday. So that's why we were all over the place. So let me know how my internet's doing. Duke Dog says, hello, looking at the Game Awards to see Half-Life 3. Oh, the Game Awards, is that still going on? Let me know in the chat, man. Is that still going on? PB&J Racing, interested to see what happens to the servers. Going to be a lot of returns from the Christmas purchase. And I was thinking about getting a claw machine, guys, for Christmas. Can you imagine if, like, the claw machine falters? I mean, that was one of the cabinets that has a high faulty rate, to say the least. Like, call up customer service and there's nothing there. That might not be too good, guys. So I got to rethink that situation. Sir Sega says, RAP Arcade1up. I'm glad I grabbed another Street Fighter 2 Deluxe at $3.99 a few weeks back. Knew this day would come, so I'm not surprised. And yeah, it was, my feeling with Arcade1up. It's like, you got a dying family member. You've already said your condolences, and it's just any day now, right? You kind of like, I had that feeling, right? Arcade1up hasn't really done anything for like 2-3 years. It's been a while, guys. And it's sad. I think the biggest thing is like keeping these companies going, or them keeping themselves going. So at least we have options, right? If we're down to one company and they don't release anything, then we're stuck. But if you got 6 companies making something, well, you got some options there, and you got more product that you could be like, hey, I'm actually interested in that, Even if Arcade1up was doing 1 XL a year, I could look at that and say, okay, maybe I'll pick that up, maybe I won't, Ken says, damn, so many cabs behind you about to close that online play. Yeah, we got room for more. We got room for more. So there's a lot of cabs there, but we got room for some more here. We're about a quarter filled right now. Let's see here. Get the Wii U greatest console of all time. So now we're a Councilcade. By the way, Zero Redux. I got the 7800 in the house. Let me tell you something. That Crystal Castles game that comes with it is literally impossible. I can get like halfway through the level, and that so reminds me of Super Mario Brothers. Like, you're literally throwing fireballs. It's like a complete knockoff. I need to get a games list, guys. Total side note. Games list of 7,800 plus games that I can add to the collection here. I'm a Councilcade now. Julio Hernandez is in the house. Channel moderator of mine, thank you so much, man, for being here. I know there's a lot going on, a lot of places you could be right now. It's late. There's Game Awards going on. Who knows what? Says, good evening, Danny. Watching the Gaming Awards right now. There you go. There you go. Yeah, said if it wasn't for Arcade1up, we wouldn't be here. It launched so many people that when we launched YouTube today. Yeah, Julio Hernandez, great point. You know, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have made a ton of friends that I have now. I wouldn't have had the opportunities that I had now. I mean, there's really good people, guys, in this space. And that's the people that I only give my attention to. And it's just really cool to be able to meet people, share hobbies with them, and share interests, and really just share the love for the game, right? Like, this is what we play for. You know, it's sharing the love for arcade, retro arcades. It's a feeling that I can't explain it. It just gives me goosebumps. It's the coolest thing. It's retro, which is even more dope. And these games are timeless, guys. They truly are timeless. This has been going on 30, 40, 50 years now, which is nuts. Street Fighter, the movie, just wait for Half-Life 3. What is going on? Street Fighter, the movie, got nominated at the Game Awards or something? Jeez Louise. I mean, Zero, you are 100% right with this one. This is a sad time, but we can't be sad at the Cornercade. Zero, you're 110% correct. We got a $5 super chat coming in hot, guys. I didn't do a super chat goal because this is just like a video that I'm making kind of thing, but going live. But if we hit 5, we'll kick it in a high gear. We'll kick it up a notch. It says, wake up, chat. Arcade1up is dead, but you're still alive. Let's go, baby. I would assume you guys are alive, and so am I, right? No, the channel is now dead since Arcade1up is dead. No, I'm kidding. Zero, thank you so much, man, for supporting the channel for sure. You're talking about Street Fighter 3, the movie looks crazy. Jason Momoa as Blanca. I think I would like to see it just because of the people that are in there. You know, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. It would be interesting to see some of that stuff. Let's see here. Julio Hernandez says 3 people that started everything for me were Third Floor Arcade with Jason, PD7, and the Cornercade. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here with all these amazing games and in the chat all day and all night kind of thing. Dude, that's really cool to hear. So it's all about. Listen, I don't do this, guys, for money, right? For what, trying to score free product or anything, like promote an affiliate. I don't do that stuff. Like, I just get on here, and it's awesome to be able to talk to companies, work with companies. I get on here for the love of the game, guys. I get on here to have fun with you guys. That's why I could be in bed with my wife right now. I get on here because this is just a really cool hobby. It's really cool to be able to share this with each and every one of you guys. You know, instead of doing just a big, like, you know what, Discord, Skype call kind of thing, we're talking live on air kind of thing. So I appreciate that, Julio Hernandez, just kind of passing the torch down kind of thing. Because I got it from, you know, from Third Floor Arcade, Michael B, and I started watching everybody else. And then, you know, I could kind of pass that forward. We got, you know, a younger, I want to say there's new up and coming channels all the time. So you take inspiration from each other, and that's really why I love to just get on here and chit chat with you guys and to kind of share the love for the hobby. I think the coolest, most exciting thing is deals and new product. That's when I really take off and love to make videos on stuff that's coming out and whatnot. Let's see here. Skateboard Sandwich. Let's go, man. That's a new name. That's a new name in the place, in a familiar place. So I guess I should get that Arcade1up Deluxe Galaga sooner than later, huh? I would, just in case, you know, anything like goes up in value or something. You wouldn't want to overpay. I used to have one of those. We sold it because we're moving everything to the XL size now. Fat Hut says, check your Discord DM. All right, let's fire that up real quick while we're having the conversations. Did he send me a massive picture of his arcade? Let's see. Oh, I gotta scroll all the way down. These are making the rounds, huh? I guess I'll have to. How do I save this? Oh, you can't save these. I forgot. He sent me the Arcade Fun logo. You know, that's funny, actually. And the basic, there's an Arcade Fun logo going on and a basic one up. Hey, Fat Hog, can you do me a favor? Can you email those to me? Here's my email, thecornercade@gmail.com. Because Discord, you can't pull those images. You can't save them. Do that for me real quick. I'll show them on air. But that's what I thought too. Everybody's making these basic 1UP logos, but I'm like, wouldn't it be Arcade Fun? Like, wouldn't that be the logo? Or that be the saying, right? That makes more sense. All right, where we at here, chat? Where we at here? Oh, I saw that. $3.99. $3.99 at Costco. I don't know if it's not online, but I don't know if that's like at certain Costco's or it's like you got to walk in and get it. So yeah, let me know about that stuff, guys. If you go to your Costco, we'll have to talk about that in the future. Because $3.99 for a claw machine, I might be in on that. You know, I could probably fix it if it goes wrong, kind of thing. BS CornerCade Crew channel member says Killer Instinct would potentially be a cool movie if they made it Dead or Alive into a one. Yeah, Killer Instinct would be a cool movie. I mean, they've done Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, KI would be something neat, but don't do like so much CGI. I think, right? You want to make it a little bit more real. Boofman says my last 1UP purchase was a Time Crisis about 5 months ago. Thought that would be my last, but now it may be over for them. I feel I just need to get like one more, right? Yeah, it's interesting. I'm almost like it's weird. Like if you think about it, like what was your last like Arcade 1UP purchase, right? Mine's gonna be the claw machine if that happens. Like, man, oh man, that would be wild. Who would have thought Arcade 1UP's last product that they made was a SpongeBob claw machine? That is something else. Oh, thank you, Julio Hernandez. Throwing in a link to get that Galaga Deluxe. Good stuff. Damien, deal with it in the house. Game over. That's right, man. Game over for sure. Oh, man. Is it official? Well, tomorrow we are about to know. JDV in the house, man. All signs are pointing to Basic Fun is acquiring Arcade 1UP. Now, how that's going to be, what assets are going with that, I don't know the details until that comes out with it. So would we see maybe they get the licensing and they don't keep, I don't know, the employees, right? Or they shut down certain aspects, or maybe they have the online infrastructure now, right? Like, think about it, guys. Basic Fun is going to be including Wi-Fi into their cabinets. So now they have a whole new infrastructure. They have all these, I don't know, they have more warehouses maybe that they're acquiring from Arcade 1UP to be able to put product in. I don't know a lot of the details, but we definitely can assume, and guys, Arcade 1UP it's over. And it's a weird thing to say, but I kind of already saw it on the wall, you know? That's why I don't come to you guys tonight like I'm shocked. Like, oh my God, this is nuts, right? I kind of thought Arcade 1UP would always be around, but I thought they'd be doing more other things like dartboards, whack-a-moles, dunk tanks, you name it, skee balls, just stupid stuff, right? Like game room solution type things, right? And it was probably worse than it was, because if they're just saying, look, we're just going to cut bait, maybe they weren't even able to get like popular licenses to put on said of those products, the dartboards and whatnot. You know, I feel for the people who wanted the Hello Kitty claw machine, because that ain't gonna never happen now unless those negotiations then transfer over to Basic Fun and they do something else. I got to be honest with you guys though, the thing that comes to my mind when Basic Fun's acquiring Arcade 1UP, it's almost like I almost like wouldn't do that. You know, like I feel like Arcade 1UP has more stink on the name than good. And again, that could be just in our niche of a YouTube community, right? And maybe the broader angle is like, you know, Arcade 1UP is in with the retailers and everybody knows Arcade 1UP and Pac-Man, right? But I just feel like, so you're buying a company that made all these mistakes. You're taking all these same people and you're just changing the t-shirts, right? So you're taking off the Arcade 1UP shirt and you're putting on the Basic Fun shirt. Nothing changed. They're going to make the same mistakes. And now Basic Fun is going to tank as well. So that's the one thing that I'm just like, I don't know. That's the one thing that just, I don't like this. Because trust me, guys, if these people were able to do stuff, they would have done it for Arcade 1UP. They would have been able to negotiate Star Wars XL for Costco to buy 13,000 of them. They would have not promised to things that just weren't delivered, like online play for Blitz and MVC2, and there's a lot of mistakes that went down, right? One of the biggest ones that I've always seen is like how they just waste money. Like James brought it up tonight. Actually, it's just throwing money at the Miami Dolphins to rent out a huge suite for arcade games. So stupid. Like the advertisement money that you're using. I mean, who knows how much that could have cost? Could have cost $500,000 a season. Could have cost a couple mil a season, right? And that's just like throwing flex muscles to show you like, hey, our brand name is out there. Dude, you should have done commercials instead. You could have done a Super Bowl commercials instead, and that would have reached way more people than people that went to a Miami Dolphins game. It's not like you're even with the Kansas City Chiefs or any of the good teams. It's the Dolphins. They stink. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do people even go to Dolphins games anymore? Like, good God. All right, I'll show you guys what Fat Hog here showed me. Hold on. There you go. Let's try to get this in a different. There you go. Arcade fun is back, baby. Oh, that's funny. Oh, the other image didn't save. Hold on. So there's another logo that's going around right now. It's making the rounds. This is the actual logo right here. Oh no, not that one. That's the same one. Hold on. Is it not saving? No, I don't think it's saving for some reason. There's another one. It's well, you've seen it already. It's basic 1-up, but here's the arcade fun. This is what it should have been, I feel like. Yeah, actually, Fat Hog has it as his avatar right now, so you can see it. That's too funny. Here's what I should do. Here we go. Hold up. I could do this, and now we are brought to you by Arcade Fun. That is the new company. That's actually pretty, close, right? That's pretty close to what it might be. That's wild to think, though. If you think about it, that's wild. All right, let's see here. Let's get back to you guys in the chat. Where we at? Let's scroll all the way up. I appreciate you guys staying up. I know it's late. Guys, take the phone with me to bed. And you can watch the stream there. Oh, you made them. Oh, that's great, dude. You did a great job, dude. You really did a good job. That's awesome. It's a very well represented. Mad Ben Han is in the house. Says, will the online versus on the Arcade 1-up still work? I would think that they would still work because I thought it's peer-to-peer. Now, I don't know if there's like a connection point that server has to be turned on. We truly won't know till tomorrow. I'm thinking, just from me to you, and Mad Ben Han, that new Tropical Deluxe table, it stinks. I'm sorry, it stinks. It's got like 10 flippers on it. You can't do anything. When you hit one flipper, the ball hits another one. It's just a hot mess. What are your thoughts on that one, guys? What are your thoughts? But I would think, just, from a fan and, covering this for a while, you guys have been deep in the trenches too, so let me know. Basic Fun's going to acquire Arcade 1-up and the servers will still be on. I think instead of like, having the Arcade Fun kind of thing, I think they would still call it Arcade Classics or, Basic Fun, Arcade 1-up. I think it would be too confusing though. I think you're just buying all the assets and you're keeping online. You now can do midway cabs. And I think a lot of this was already in the making from a while ago. So I heard from people who used to work at ThinkUp, Arcade 1-up. I talked to them, communicated with them, got information, kind of knew some behind the scenes stuff that I really couldn't share. But again, nothing's official till it's official, right? I heard from them that they wouldn't even last another month. And that was back in October. So, it's pretty close. And I was kind of shocked to hear that. I was like, get out of here. There's no way, dude. I don't believe you. And we were kind of chatting back and forth. And sure shit, look at that. So these negotiations could have been happening a while back, right? We've seen some of the cabinets look alike, so who knows, right? This could have been months ago, right? Now it's just getting finalized now, right? I don't know, right? We'll know more maybe a little bit in a press release tomorrow if something becomes official. But it would be interesting to see the upcoming weeks, months, if, certain things leak out or certain things are said or certain things could be shared, right? I know Spreetail wants to put an order in for Mortal Kombat XL. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. Well, how could they do that? Does Basic Fun have Midway? Well, maybe this deal was already done, and it's just getting finalized now. You know, I see it. I kind of, it's hard to believe, guys, that a deal happens and in 3 days you're out of a job. A company's going to give you 3 days notice to say, all right, pack your shit, get out. I don't know. I feel like at least 2 weeks, a month, you know, maybe not, I don't know. But I think these wheels in motion were happening a while ago. And Basic Fun was able to maybe receive that future order for Mortal Kombat XL, because I know it's coming. But that would just make sense. Where there's more smoke, there's fire, and they're able to do that because they have the licensing. I don't know. Maybe Midway's not exclusive, and I'm just talking out of my behind, right? Kato is in the building. Let's go, man. Someone else will take over operations of the company 100%. How cool. How cool, guys. I'm just like, from a fan's perspective here, how cool would it be if you could buy low on Arcade1up, right? Like, think about it. Like, I could get with like a couple investors, and bing, bang, boom, we are rocking and rolling. I could hire, like, you know, the right people to put in place, you know, financial experts. Because the problem with all of this is the people at Arcade1up don't know what would sell. That is the whole problem in everything. And they were really worried. Like, they thought Simpsons was going to do great, overproduce that. They just didn't know their metrics, right? And I think a lot, like, you know, you look at other companies that produce this stuff, they seem to kind of get it, you know? So it's just interesting how Arcade1up was just kind of like, almost like blind. Like, they were just like, okay, there's the doorknob to the room. Okay, this door might work, so I'm just going to go through that. And that might lead me to a hallway of sales, right? Like, that's the feeling we all got. And we're all just hoping, like, just make something, right? So I could buy it and be happy. I don't know. You could bring people in, surround yourself with, like, instead of yes men, you surround yourself with experts, and you say, all right, guys, this is what Danny says. Danny wants this, that, boom. These are the 10 titles. Give me your analytics on what's going to sell. Well, I know what's going to sell, but let's see if we can actually, I feel like there's no heart in that company. It was all about trying to make a profit and turn a profit, and how can we make these things cheaper to just get them out the door? And that's not, cost cutting like that is just not, not the way to go, man. 90s Renegade, thank you so much, man, for being here. It's sad, but it's time. Collector pieces now. Yeah, you know, it's like I said, it's like again, the best way to explain it is like, you know, you got a family member, you know, they're about to pass. They lived a great life, 90 years. And it's okay. It's okay to, you know, let them go, and it's time to move on, right? And that's kind of the feeling I got. But it's just sad because that's another less option, right? Even if Arcade1up like produce all this crappy stuff, right? Like they made a claw machine, right? I mean, maybe the claw machine's cool. Like other companies aren't doing that. At Games isn't making a claw machine, right? The other companies, Basic Fun hasn't produced one out. Iconic hasn't done one, right? So like that was your kind of niche thing. Okay, let's pick that up, right? Options are always fantastic, and when you cut down the options, that's where it kind of sucks, you know? Joe K, thank you so much, man, for being here. Let's go. Yes, Arcade Fun Up. Fourth Horseman is in the house. I hope someone clearances those remaining caps. That would be really cool, man. If they were just on a blowout sale, I would love that for the community. It's like $150. Get rid of all this stuff. That's something that'll spread like a wildfire. You gotta keep your ears to the ground for that one for sure. Robert Brown says, last two for me was Frogger and Golden Axe. Man, got them at the same time. That's wild. That's like a long time ago. It feels like a long time ago, right? Like 4 or 5 years ago almost. My Golden Axe is beautiful. We did a bang up job on that. That's how it should have been released. Great cabinet too. Great Sega cabinet. And Frogger was a good cabinet, but it had to move on because we were moving up to the deluxes at the time. And then, man, they just didn't make enough of those. You know, they didn't re-release enough of them. Josh Dendy says, I wonder what will happen with the replacement parts. That's a great question. I was just on the phone or through email with Arcade1up's customer service a couple days ago trying to get a monitor for one of our Pac-Man cabinets. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting now. Kato says, based on the similarities of the cabinets being sold, I'm sure this has been in the works. That's kind of what I'm thinking too, right? Uh-oh, we got a show. Evil Genius, are you doing a show tonight live, baby? What are you doing, my man? Let's go. Big Vicious, thank you so much, man, for being here. I just put this stream together. I didn't even promote it through Discord or anything like that. I just went live, guys, so I appreciate you getting the notifications and sliding on in. Is Basic Fun taking over? Is that rumors at this point? from what the emails that were exchanged sound like, it truly sounds like Basic Fun is taking over. Now, again, this is all just rumor and speculation. We'll know more hopefully tomorrow, maybe in the coming weeks or months. We'll kind of figure that out. It's going to be very interesting to see what Arcade1up.com looks like on Saturday, for example, day after all this stuff is supposedly supposed to happen, right? Are cabinets blown out? Is that link just disabled? Do they still keep the company up and running to sell through all of their products and then close the doors? You know, make it look like to the average consumer, yeah, they're still in business. All Arcade1up calls get transferred to Basic Fun customer service, or it's just Arcade1up's customer service, but they're working for Basic Fun, right? Getting close, though. Fourth Horseman says, I want that arcade closed up hat. Should I? Is it? There, this is a little bit better, right? it's all done. I don't know, Vic. That's a good question. Like, why would Arcade1up, you know, why would Basic Fun want the Arcade1up branding? I don't know. That's, this is a lot of interesting speculation for sure. Yeah, Mr. Murph Dog, thank you so much, man, for being here. What happens to online play and leaderboards? I would assume that whole infrastructure moves on to Basic Fun. But again, a lot could happen. A lot can happen. It could all just be shut down, and that's it. Endangered Dog, don't cry. We're in this together, my man. We're in this together. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, share everybody. Share with everybody, right? Vic Vicious says, I need a T2 and an X-Men PCB. Now what? Well, you weren't going to get an X-Men PCB because they were out of that. T2 you could certainly ask for, but I don't know, my guy. That's yeah, you're going to have to do a mini PC or a Pi, my guy. Times are different now, right? Okay, at least I'm not the only one. Agreed. Tropical Deluxe is not so good. And it's okay. Not every table is going to be a banger, but my God, get rid of all these flippers. I don't understand why you have all these. You don't need this many flippers. Yeah, Fourth Horseman, you're right. You got to get a Pi. Oh, get out of here, Fat Hog. Stop that. What do you like about Tropical Deluxe? Let me know. Oh my God, you got me choking up over here. Yeah, there is brand recognition. That's the only thought I would think to keep the Arcade1up logo intact, right? That would be the only thing for me. Danny, the deal is Arcade1up fires them first, potentially. Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. Big Kirby, thank you so much, man, for being here. Says, Basic Fun already has a license agreement for Mortal Kombat for their small handhelds. But was that like the Sega ROMs? Wasn't that like a different... Because console is different from arcade, to my knowledge. I could be totally wrong. But I thought they used, like, on them little handhelds, I thought they used, like, the NES and Sega ROM versions. But he says, Arcade1up, to get out of the way, build a 3/4 and XL Mortal Kombat, just speculation. Yeah, I would love to, see that. That's one that, like, I would buy. It's like, okay, you get it. You assemble it, looks beautiful, play some Mortal Kombat on there, but it's not something like, oh shit, they just came out with a Tekken. It's not something new. It's something that's rehashed and needs to be rehashed, because if you're wanting XL cabinets, it needs to be redone, right? But yeah, it's something you get, but it's not something you do cartwheels down the road for. The Dark Connect says, I hope they keep the online part for a while for the Cavs. Yeah, me too. I don't play a lot of online. It's so funny when like I got my Cavs going, I'm playing with my kids, and somebody will challenge like me, like on the Killer Instinct, but they're playing my son who's 3 years old. It's so funny. He's just like jumping, because he's holding the stick up or something. It's just so funny. But yeah, I keep it to like kind of offline. It's not really online is important for updates. That's it for me. I don't really. I could keep the online play. Kirby says this has been in the works since August. Just speculation. See, that's what I think. It's been in the works for a long time. We've kind of speculated, hey, are they working together? Well, kind of, right? We had that video come out, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months ago. Like, hey, is Arcade1up and Basic Fun actually partnering up to release some of these cabinets? You can go back on the channel and check it out. It seems like that was true. Smoke, there's fire, as always. So yeah. I love this, man. We got a couple new names in the building tonight. I love it. Apocalyptic Minister says, we got to understand license acquisition. Yeah, there's a lot of things that, like, guys, I'm not going to understand. I'm a super fan. Would like to speculate here and obviously deliver the news on facts. I don't always want to deliver speculation, but there's enough, like, smoke now that the flames are kind of brewing up in the building here. So we can kind of talk about it tonight and just have some fun. But yeah, tomorrow is kind of like the big day, right? The big day where this is all going to go down. And then there might not be a press release or anything like that. We don't know, right? If there is, great. If there's not, I understand. Maybe you start to see and hear stories as they come out. People get off NDAs that used to work for Arcade1up. God, wouldn't it be cool if we can get some former Arcade1up employees in the building for, just join the show? That'd be fun. They probably have stories to tell, right? Julio Hernandez says the last 2 Cavs I picked up were Fast and the Furious and NBA Jam Deluxe. And the Cav that I was super excited about was Time Crisis. Man, it seems like such a long time ago. It does. It really does. It's been a while, guys, since there was that hype factor. Guys, I remember when we had like Joust. Oh man, goosebumps, dude. I'm getting goosebumps. We had like all these different skins. It was such a cool time to see the different marquees lit up in your arcade. And man, it's been quite a ride. It's been something different, man. And we sold off a lot of the arcades to move into XL, and the XL is just stalling. XL is just stalling now, which sucks because come on, hurry it up already. I want to get some arcades. The Kaz says, I don't think Basic Fun will get rid of the Arcade1up branding. It's good. We're gonna find out, guys. I think it's gonna be confusing, but maybe they just keep it, kind of have it like a sister company. Think about it like this, guys. It's almost like a cell phone company, like T-Mobile buying out Sprint, buying out US Cellular, buying out all these companies and just kind of merging them as one. But maybe in this case, they have like their sub company, right? So like the average person isn't going to know that Arcade1up now is owned by Arcade Classics Basic Fun. So maybe you have Arcade Classics, maybe you have Arcade1up, and they think that they're competing, but really they're not, because it's all the same. It's all the same branding. It's like those ghost kitchens. If you order a Mr. Beast burger, it's not like Mr. Beast he's taking a cut, but it's like Chili's that's making it, or like Applebee's, right? So like they're making money too. So maybe they do keep them separate, but it's same team, guys, same team, right? Like maybe that's the scenario, right? Who knows? Let's see here. Zero says we need everyone on Deal Watch. Shout it out from the rooftops. Oh, trust me. Once one person knows, they're gonna share in those Arcade1up Facebooks like no other. I can 100% guarantee you that. Ken K says, I thought we were on the right track with Midway Golden Tea combo. Apparently, I was wrong. Yeah. That was the writing on the wall. That's when it all started to happen. Apocalyptic says, I actually was thankful for the company. Other companies charged way more in the beginning. Yeah, I mean, 1UP really started this big boom. They really did, and it was a great time, a great ride. I had fun. My family had fun. Friends had fun. You guys, met you guys. The community had fun. And this isn't like the end of the community. This isn't the end of home arcade. This is just the end of one option, right? And it could be the spark of beginning of a new option, right? We don't know truly what goes down here. But Basic Fun really has got to put the pressure on now. They really got to heat these things up and like really get these things right for Wave 2. Iconic's still there, but they truly haven't even released a product yet. So until they actually release something, I mean, I've had 80 of these things, 70, 80 of these arcades. Arcade1up is actually doing stuff, right? Basic Fun has released 3. So we got to see these companies kind of doing stuff and in the recreation arcade scale. Fathhawk says, I feel Tropical Deluxe only has one too many flippers. It's very busy, but there's a lot to do. Better than hitting the same crap over and over and over again. It's not Wildlands, but it's decent. Maybe I got to play it more, but I didn't get good vibes when I was playing it. I was like, no, I don't know. Like, there's other tables I could be playing, to be quite honest with you. Tony C, CornerCade Crew channel member, says, I just realized I need one multi-cade eraser with a lot of racing games, a shoot 'em up setup for light guns, and a V-pin. So you're taking, I need 3 multi-cades, each dedicated to the different controls, and I need a V-pin, and I'm good. And you're not wrong. That's a solid setup. I think that's a really solid setup, especially if you have a smaller place. I'm totally into these quarter scale arcades now. Oh my god, they're phenomenal. Classified. That's another name too. All these new names coming in the woodwork. This is great. Hopefully you guys are subbed to the channel and you can check us out on our main show on Tuesdays, right? But we're gonna have a big show. Guys, we're gonna have a big show Tuesday. You better buckle up. You gotta clock in and lock in, baby, because we're gonna have a huge show on huge show on Tuesday, and it's gonna start at an hour early. So I got to guys set your notifications on. It's gonna be an hour early. I have all 8 of my Arcade1ups currently for sale. RIP, my AtGames Legends Ultimate has every retro game on it anyways. By the way, bought my first real pinball. Got a Stern Jurassic Park Premium. I'm now hooked. Oh yeah, that's, when we go to the arcades, it actually plays with the real, like, good stuff. Like, it's like, man, what a time to be alive, man. 100%. So that's awesome, dude. It's got its 1-up for sale. Yeah, and it's AtGames Legends. So that's some good stuff right there, dude. That's awesome. I know the prices started going crazy. I bought once Deion Sanders got involved, they hit big time. Yeah, they I mean, that they're not cheap. Dan Marino was there. NFL players aren't cheap to do marketing for you, but yeah, it's just a shame, all in all, I think a lot of it was mismanagement on a lot of stuff. Oh, look at that, dude. Apocalyptic. Thank you so much, man, for subscribing to the channel. Let's go, man. Yeah, we cover a lot of home arcade here and whatever. Sometimes we talk about football, right? Like when I start to go off my football tangents. But let me know what you're into, and I'll see if I can toss it into the show. B. Kirby, the Chicago Retro Ranger, says, the Chicago Arcade guy, I'm sorry, it's late. I don't want to confuse you with Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger. They were never partnering up. Basic Fun wanted Arcade1up gone or to buy them out. Speculation again. So what he says is they were never partnering up. Basic Fun wanted Arcade1up gone. That's interesting. There's always competition no matter where you go. There's competition on YouTube. There's competition with companies. It's insane. Everybody's trying to be the best, right? Like, let's all just enjoy everything. Let's have options here, people. Basic Fun wanted Arcade1up gone or to buy them out. Huh. So does that mean there's going to be no online infrastructure? No acquiring of licenses? Interesting. That's wild. I wonder how much the deal was for and if it was worth it. That just shows you, like, how bad Arcade1up was probably hurting, that they just took any deal on the table. How many deals did they have, right? They probably had one and only and just got the hell out of there. I think you're right. Arcade1up will remain a Basic Fun. Just go back to handhelds. Who knows? That's it's all good speculation. It's all good talk. I was in the lobbies with John D, Michael of All Trades, Michael B, and OTG. And then when they took their shirts off, oh, that's so funny. That's funny. That's awesome. Jay Pace, thank you so much, man, for being here. I hope they can find a way to keep the Arcade1up servers from going down, play multiplayer, and have our high scores preserved. fingers crossed, we'll see a lot of these questions are going to be answered, like I said, in the coming days, coming weeks, maybe a couple months, who knows. I think Code Mystics chimed in. They might have a way to keep some of the servers up and running. I don't know. A lot of this stuff is, we're just going to have to find out together, unfortunately. Robert Brown says, may find some cabs for sale there, which would be where? Marketplace or what? Apocalyptic says, I would talk about my Chiefs, but never mind. So I'm a Bears fan here, man. We're having one hell of a season. Even though we're barely winning, we're making fourth quarter comebacks. I'll take the ride, man. Let's get in the playoffs. And you just got to get in the playoffs. You just got to win your division and see what happens, right? Anything can happen in the playoffs. This is football. It's one game, couple mistakes here and there, and you could win a game, right? And especially if you win your division or win the conference. I mean, you need to win like 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. Like, that's nuts, right? Man, the possibilities of the Bears. I just wish they would have done something at the trade deadline. Oh my God, get a pass rusher or something, man. They didn't do anything. The Kaz says, maybe now we will get some of the arcade cabinets we always wanted from Arcade1up with the acquisition. Hubert, there's a lot of great speculation and possibility. This is, and this might be, guys, like what B Kirby's saying. Basic Fun's like, yeah, how much do you want Arcade1up to just, so we can acquire you and just bury you, essentially? Oh, 3 million, here you go. Everybody get out. Everybody's fired. Burn all the licensing agreements. Get rid of all these cabinets. They're done. Could just be like that, right? Kill the online infrastructure, and we're just taking over. You know, who knows? Thor KC says, I am very grateful to Arcade1up for making my home arcade possible, and 100%. You know, they get all the credit in the world for really revolutionizing this trend and really starting it. With all their various, you know, cabinets and designs and releases. But Basic Fun looks like they will carry on the mistake-ridden tradition, so I won't really miss them. That's another thing, too. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping that somebody says something over there to kind of wake them up, you know? Because we don't, those cabinets were rough, guys. Rough. I mean, they made a lot of mistakes with those, and I would have been able to fix WrestleFest if I still did the deluxe thing, but when you have to do screen swaps, I hate that. Like, you gotta get the screen right at the very least. I can cosmetically make it look good, but you gotta get the screen right, 100%. Are you laughing about my Bears there? Hey, we'll take it. A win. There you go. A win is a win. You can only play who's on your schedule, right? So it is what it is. Hopefully we can dismantle the Browns at home, and I think they're at home, and take care of the Packers at home at least. Man, so yeah, new time for Arcade1up and new ventures moving forward. Again, we'll know more, I would assume, in the coming days. You know, tomorrow is kind of like the big day that, you know, the email that was sent out that said, hey, look, it's time to pack up your stuff and skedaddle. For the people at Arcade1up, or maybe all of the employees, some of the employees. It's going to be, I think the key word in tonight's stream is interesting. And how has the stream been running tonight? Is it smooth as butter? Do we got a choppy stream, or do we got a smooth stream? Let me know. I know it's late tonight, guys. I appreciate everybody stopping by and kicking it at the CornerCade, having some fun, man. Can you believe we've already gone an hour? That is wild. I think the takeaway here is that Arcade1up provided us with a lot of memories, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of friendships, and really brought back retro arcades, the interest for a lot of us, to be quite honest with you. And I think they really spiked that hobby up, and other companies saw that, got on board. I mean, Arcade1up wasn't a slouch. They sold over 4 million units. You know, that's not something easy to do. So, you know, with their departure, it's you know, it's kind of like a bittersweet moment. You know, it sucks that they're going, because again, it's one less option. But I feel like it's time. You know, it's time. I can retire the hat. You know, we put the hats. Let's see here. We got to adjust it a notch, but we bring the CornerCade hat back, and we kind of move the drill, and it's like I said, it's a bittersweet thing. It was fun while the ride. My big dome head took I have to adjust it back, but it was fun while the ride lasted, I think. Um at least I had fun, right? Like with that company and talking about it, covering them. Um what could they produce next? And a lot of that, just I don't think they were listening, and I don't think they cared. It just the taste of it, right? But it's fun. We had Cyrus on at one point, very early in my YouTube career. I got to interview him, and that was fun. But yeah. B Kirby says, I would say keep your 3/4 cabs because I don't see a plethora of XLs coming out in 2026. We'll see a handful at best. Let's see here. I don't know. I have one cab up for sale, which is Mortal Kombat. But I don't want to sell anymore. Like, again, I have plenty of holes that I can fill. I think I'm just waiting now for those cabinets to come out so we can get them, right? It's kind of fill up the holes that we have. We have room for 1, 2, 3 XLs at the very least. And then we'll start to move things around and do some stuff. But take it easy, B Kirby. Thank you so much, man, for stopping by. I know it's late. We're about to wrap it up here. But yeah, we're going to see what comes out in the future. Hopefully we can get like 4, 5 XL options for 2026. We're going to have one coming eventually in the Alpha 2 from Iconic Arcade, so we'll see. Thor KC says, in my opinion, any given cab can have 1, maybe 2 shortcomings and be acceptable. Yeah, because you can fix those, right? They're pretty easy. It's when they pile on the problems, leaving nothing good. That's just what Basic Fun is putting out. So when you don't have speaker go covers, coin doors aren't lit up, the screen's wrong, the emulation's messed up, the marquee is washed out. Like, all of these things start to pile up, and it's like, dude, I could just get an Arcade1up and reskin it with Joe Sabos. Like, you're paying the same amount, right? I feel like. All right. Long and Low, thank you so much, man, for being here. I know Long and Low used to have like 100 of these things. It's very unfortunate the amount of money I spent, but I believe there will be a few companies that take over this field. Yeah, and you never know, man. Your arcades could go up in price, man. I gotta be honest with you. You have some like of the wacky and weird ones, like the Chinatown NBA Jam, stuff like that. Arcade1up needed to acquire the licenses for many Sega arcades like Virtual Cop and Daytona. I know the difficulty was there. A lot of it was, I think, the negotiating skills and the skills of selling. I don't think Cyrus could do that. Just from my conversations with him, again, I could be wrong, but I'm a salesperson, okay? I used to sell at all my jobs. I sold in cars. I sold credit cards and memberships for retail companies. I know what it takes to sell, guys. It's a certain like it factor. It's either you got it or you don't. You really can't, in my mind, teach somebody that confidence and bravado. You can tell them and you can coach them, but they have to have it within to believe in what they're selling. If they don't believe in what they're selling, they're never going to convince somebody why they need it or why they need to sell it. And you just got to make people believe at the end of the day. And I just don't think, a lot of these guys in these companies are young kids that really knew the importance of that. I used to coach young kids and they just don't care. There's a difference in generational speed. I'm almost 40 years old. So it's just different now. It's all about, what's on Instagram, what's on TikTok. It's like we're swiping through the phone. It's like, dude, wake up, put the phone down and wake up. Like we got to sell memberships here. We're behind by 3 and it's hour 15 right now. Let's wake up, people. So I just don't think like Arcade1up had that. It was kind of like the retail companies were telling them what to do. No. We're going to tell you what to buy because we're selling to you. And that was the difference. You get these executives at Walmart, Target, Nebraska Furniture Mart, anywhere, right? They don't know. They're just guessing. They don't know what would sell. You got Kevin on Spreetail, openly asking, well, guys, what would you want? What would you sell? You got to know this stuff. You got to know why it would sell, why it's important. You got to understand why a Cubert XL would be the second coming of Pac-Man, not a Cubert CounterCade, but a Cubert XL, right? You have to understand why a Cubert Deluxe would sell out the roof. You got to understand why said A, B, and C title would make it big and would do better than Pac-Man or just as good. You got to know this stuff. And if you don't know, don't buy. Get into something. Go sell furniture. Go sell cars. You know, there's lots of different options to sell. You got to know what you're selling. When I used to sell Hondas, I knew why Honda was better than other competitors. Their 5-star safety rating. When they got into a front-end collision, the engine would drop down into the road so it wouldn't drop into your legs and kill you, right? There's an A-frame body structure to a Honda. Here's the seams. Let me show you that there's no welds in the seams. And I would take the customer around the car. You got to know the ins and outs, man. You don't just walk in the building and say, it's got 4 tires, let it rip. Like, it doesn't work like that, you know? You got to understand the fuel efficiency of a Honda, the ins and outs, the technology of a Honda, why it's better than said competitor, right? So yeah, it's just my thoughts, going on a little bit of a tangent here. That's what I like to do. Thor KC says this is definitely a serious lack of Sega in the home arcade. Yeah, I got one Sega cab, and that's it. We need more Sega, people. Wake up. Outrun, that's the one I just never could get my hands on. That would have been a great cab for sure. Long and Low, to think one cab basically wiped them out. Yeah, was it Blitz, MVC2, Simpsons? There's been a couple of them. You guys are the best. I appreciate everyone being here, man. Let's see what happens. Like, guys, let's see what happens in the future. The future is going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. You know, I hope Iconic can come through. I hope Basic Fun can come through. I really hope Spreetail buys everything so we can get stuff. Like, that would be exciting. It just, the hobby has a chance to really take a turn, and hopefully it's for the better and not for the worse, right? I hope this hobby can evolve and change and get better. J Pace says, the Dread Pirate, Robert says, dream of large women. Yes. Yes. 100%. Yes. Know your customers, know the business. You gotta do research. You gotta know. It's fair to ask, maybe stir up a little engagement, but you gotta know. You know if you know, right? You know if you know. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody being here. Hopefully this stream was nice and smooth for you guys, unlike our last one that was running into a train wreck. Yeah, we're gonna see the future, guys. What happens with Arcade1up and where they kind of go from here. With Basic Fun, is Basic Fun just buying them to chop the head off and bury them? Right, that could be a possibility. Are they buying them to acquire licenses, cabinet designs, warehouses, infrastructure, spare parts? Who knows? Customer service, is that another possibility? Or you know, are they acquiring them just for some of the people, right? And to put the competitors out of business? You know, could some of these other companies be bought out as well? You know, could other companies be bought out by Basic Fun? You know, could they just take over, right? That'd be crazy, right? We'll see. We'll be covering it. We'll be here with Home Arcade. And we'll see what happens in the future. I wish everybody happy holidays, as always. You know, this is the holiday December. I feel like it's just starting up all over the place. You got New Year's coming up. You got Christmas. You just had Thanksgiving. It's been crazy all over the place. Super busy. We just actually put our tree up a couple days ago, so we've been kind of late to the game here. But now it looks festive in the CornerCade crew household. And we got an Atari 7800, so that's pretty fun. That Bentley's Adventure Bear game is very difficult. I don't know who's beating that. Maybe I'm just bad at the Atari 7800, but I'd like to get some more games with that and check that out. That'd be pretty fun to the guys. This upcoming Tuesday, guys, check out the show. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. We're going to have a lot of fun. Guys, if you're watching this on replay, which most of you will be, I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Leave a comment down below as you're What's your favorite arcade, you know, 1-up memory? Or, you know, what'd you least like about Arcade 1-up? Because there was goods and there was bads, guys. So they came with both of them. Much like everything in life, there's good, bads, and uglies, right? Guys, I appreciate everybody being here. Leave a comment down below and give this video a like on your way out. And guys, as always, this is Danny from the CornerCade, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.